At least then I get your energy. And oh, by the way, she likes your bad boy energy. You forget that. She'd love your bad boy energy. But here's the problem. Did you see his face on that? Here's the problem. She's your wife. Yeah. Because, I mean, do you really your wife? Do you do the things with your wife that in the darkest images of your mind you've thought about or maybe experienced with a band before you knew her?
Quite a lot, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
When was the last time?
Probably about 6 months ago.
6 months for a man in dog years is 1,000 years. 6 months for a man sexually, is that not like...
You're talking about the dark stuff, though, aren't you? I mean,
yes, I am.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just talking about period or dark
No,
stuff?
I'm talking about the dark stuff.
That's what I figured, too.
Yeah.
So I said 6 months for a man is like dog years, right? So that's like 42 years, 42 months. Am I right or wrong about that? Meaning it doesn't just feel like 6 months for a man sexually, because a day for a man is like, 6 months. Exactly. Thank you. So, you don't know her goals. Her nature actually is aligned with you. That's unfortunately encouraging.
It is if she follows it.
No, that's your job, not hers. You want a band member at home? You want a guy that you can count on that'll be there to do the thing you need to do at the moment you need to do it?
No, I want her to do the things that she loves.
Oh, so you want to be a level 2 game. Now I know why you have no passion. How many just heard that? Level 2. I want her to do her thing. She got to do her thing. Be there. I'll do my thing. We'll come together and do our thing. You can leave her and you'll be in the same place, but same thing.
Tony teaches that there are 3 levels of relationship. In level 1, both partners are looking after getting their own needs met, without regard for the other's needs. In level 2, the partners focus on fair exchange. You let me pursue mine, I'll let you pursue yours. Neil's assumption was that his wife should let him do the band, and he should let her do her art. In level 3, the partners focus on giving to each other unconditionally before any thought of receiving. In order to enjoy level 3, Neil would have to be giving to his wife in every way, taking care of her even in her realm of art and creativity. Only when he makes that level of commitment will he learn to balance his marriage with his outside interest.
It's also convenient because you get to do what you want. You don't have to take on the same level of responsibility because that feels like it'd be less free. But what if you could be completely free with your wife, not intellectually and verbally and sometimes sexually, I mean free to be a man? So her nature, unfortunately, seems to be aligned with you. Then let's look at her need structures. Which of the 6 needs is her core driven by? Not how she's operating right now, because you're operating like shit right now too.
Yeah, I would say her core is love and connection.
Yes. So if her need, and by the way, what is your number 1 in your core?
Love and connection.
Yes. So what I tell you is the most important thing to know the answer to the question if this is the right person or not. Get rid of all the bullshit and the stories and the triggers is the need structures. If those need structures, if you share one of those 2, this relationship can be extraordinary. My bet is you don't just share one of the 2. What is number 2 for you? Really in your core, not how you behaved, in your core.
Contribution.
What's number 2 for her? In her core.
I would probably say certainty.
And the truth of the matter is, that's how she operates, and it may be true, but that's how you operate as well. That's what this is all about. You want to be certain. That's what this whole discussion's been about. You want certain love. That's also why you've been a good boy, too. You're more like her than you know. So here's what my recommendation would be if you'd like it. And you can decide whether it makes any sense. 1, can't leave till you've truly looked at the elements you know are true and given those elements. Until you've lit her up at level 10 in each of these areas and you figure out what does it take for her to feel loved. You say, write down 10 things that if I did them, you'd know I love you. Tell me what they are. Just write. You don't tell her to write them down. You write them down. What else? Tell me what else. What else makes you feel loved? Tell me. How would you know? Rules. And then you'll see, that's, you might say, I don't like that, or, well, okay, God, I never do that, no wonder. I do this, I think that makes her feel loved, but that's not her rule for love. She has a different rule. I've been doing all this stuff, though. She should feel loved. She should, but that's not her rule, so she doesn't feel it. So you find out what is it that will make her feel that way, and you fill her up. That's one. Two is you find out what her goals are. What is she really after in this life? Three is you take a hard look at these elements. Four is you fill her up so much that she wants to give to you now, and she says, honey, go to the band. Go do it twice a week. No, not always. Somebody said, when you give, you get. I said, no, not always. But you won't know until you give completely and totally. And what I would do is, so it's not a cop-out, because I know this, otherwise you're going to go back in this back-and-forth decision mode. You say, I'm going to do, for the next 90 days, I am not going to have a thought about leaving. All I'm going to do is fill this up, and I'm going to schedule a day with myself 90 days. I'm going to look at my life, and I'm going to evaluate, did I really give every ounce of my soul? No bullshit. Did I figure, do I know what she needs, the values? And then you can look at this piece, and you'll know. One of two things will happen. If you really did that, you'll have lit her up, and she'll be lighting you up, and your life will be different. Or you'll come back out, and you'll say, we really are truly different. Goals, values, directions. But if the same means she's a man and she's going to suddenly go for her gift without you giving full attention, or if your idea is that she's going to blossom without you giving 10 times more attention, even though you're already overwhelmed with work and everything else, then you're just a pussy and you're going to go away and you'll go through this again. Because you'll find somebody else who will light you up initially and everything else, and then you go through that process, and she'll tell you she doesn't want to have a kid, and pretty soon you'll have another kid. And then you'll be worried about your daughter and your son, and then you'll be older and you won't be a band guy anymore. What do you think?
Fantastic plan.
Great. Will you do it?
Yeah, can I write it down? Can you write it all down for me?
Sure, sweetheart. Let me help you.
Come and sit next to me.
I didn't know that you were that kind of guy. Thank you. So no. I honor you because I get that you got it. What I'm asking you to do, and I believe you will do,
I will,
and
definitely.
feel is, no holds barred. That woman needs to be lit up, and the more she comes at you and fights you, if nothing else out of this 90 days, become a man. Where the more she comes at you, the more you convert that into juice, and you just see that she's just begging for love. And even if she wasn't the right woman for you, the next 90 days should be the greatest 90 days of her life, where never has a man given her more attention and focus and caring and love. And you tell her after those 90 days, this is what I need, honey. I desperately need this to feel alive as a man. This is what I need. I want your needs to be met. I'm committed to your needs. Can we make this work? I said, I just need the truth. And you'll know the truth at that point. But first, fill her up like she's never been filled up, then decide. Give him a hand.
As Neil sat down, Tony had this to say.
The biggest thing that's missing in that relationship is twofold. One is, he's getting his dark somewhere else. How many of this? And his light isn't even that rich right now because of the level of frustration that day-to-day life has shown up for both of them. She's burnt out. She's only taking care of her kids and doing all the things that are happening there as well. The other challenge is, and the one that he's going to have to deal with is, he has to shift his belief that if she doesn't like my music, then she doesn't like what I love most. And while she may not like rock and roll, what she dislikes the most is that music takes him away from her. But the only thing I'd be cautious about, Neil, is that what you liked is you got certainty with a plan that made sense. And you knew it was based on what's right. But what's going to be really critical is you go back in those 90 days are truly 0 to 10, 20s in your total commitment of focus and attention, because your idea of that right now is not equal to what is required. If you really do that, then things will transform, and no matter what, they'll be better. But you'll also know, you'll be able to say to her, this is what I need, and you will have given to her first completely, totally, and then if she is the woman that many of you are, she'll step up and be able to meet your needs as well, and if she's not, then you'll know that as well.
Neil stood up uncertain about whether he and his wife were compatible. The truth was that he had avoided facing the greatest challenge for all of us, seeking fulfillment in love. Instead, he had sought outside interests. For him, it was the band. For others, it might be meditation, business, or even attending conferences. He was hurt and puzzled by his wife's unhappiness, not realizing that she was third on his list, after the band and his daughter. As it turns out, he didn't even understand what his wife needed or what she valued. Tony gave him the task of pouring himself into satisfying his wife's needs for 90 days, learning everything about her and giving her everything that he could. Now let's see Neil and his wife 6 months later.
To be completely honest, I was at that point of, are we in the wrong relationship?
I gave you a 90-day assignment.
Absolutely,
you recall.
absolutely.
And I said, go back and play full out and then decide, right?
Yeah.
How did that work out?
I didn't need the 90 days to decide. And what she'd been doing while I'd been away, enjoying myself in Palm Springs, was Andrew been going through the house, mentally ticking off, well, that's his, that's
I'm
mine,
having that.
I'll be having that when we do.
So this thing had accelerated.
It was, yeah, I mean, again,
a two-way street.
we're both, I wouldn't say volatile, but we're both fiery, passionate people. You know, so when the relationship's great, it's great, and then when it's shit, you know. But then it's being able to get from one state to the other state quickly, whereas in the past it would take a lot longer. You know, I mean, it could be 2 or 3 days, you could sulk, I could sulk, and then we'd both be sulking together and we wouldn't talk to each other for a couple of days. But there'd be a couple of occasions where I was doing a really difficult job in the house, and it wasn't going right, and I was getting frustrated with myself. You came back in, Andrea said, you're not finished that yet.
But I did it on purpose.
Yes.
She did. Pushing the buttons. Yeah, pushing the buttons. And
That's her job.
what I was doing, threw it on the floor. And then, oh, whoa, stop. Instantly, downstairs, and just grabbed your big
Because
hug.
I'd said, I just shouted, I was joking! And stomped off into the kitchen.
Yeah. So that could have lasted a day previously, or 2 days.
And what happened instead?
We had a big hug, we had a kiss, you know, got playful, you know, and it was all over. As you know, one of my other big passions is the music and playing in the band.
Right.
And really, I think in the last few weeks, again, I've made a fairly momentous decision in that it's getting in the way.
It's getting in the way. Wow.
Of us.
Wow. And what have you done?
Well, I've basically made a commitment to Andrew to say that I'm going to quit the band.
Wow.
We've got commitments this year, we've got dates to fulfill, and don't want to let the other guys down, but what I said to Andrew is by the time, say by January of next year, is a case of I'm going to either stop it completely or back off to such a degree, because it takes me away from home a lot, because we travel all over the country, and Andrea is not comfortable with, you know, I could be away for an entire weekend.
Sure.
But I feel now that he's more on his priorities are more in line with mine, which I didn't feel before.
No, I was very
career-minded.
I was very business focused. I mean, I was a director of this particular company. It was all about working towards a sell-off, so we're going to make some money and put the hours in, get the new business in, you know, focus on that, focus. Oh, I've got this band, great, so I'm going to do that. We're going to do loads of gigs, and we're going to be really successful, and, you know, we're going to be as famous as we're going to get. And, oh, by the way, we've got a family as well, you know, and...
So I always felt like I was very low on the list of priorities.
Even though I would never admit that.
And what's true now?
But now it's completely switched around. Now it's like, yeah, well, that's given me some security now.
So it was a case of, I love doing that, but there's no way I'm going to do that selfishly and jeopardise what we've got.
Wow.
You know.
I'm really
so
proud of you as a man. So I don't sense a loss in you about this.
Little bit.
Okay, good.
You know, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. But you know, I'd be more disappointed. You know, if we weren't together.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
So I just think it's amazing. When I was telling him when we was having this discussion, I said I'm not asking you to give it up. I don't want to get to that point where I'm saying give it up or I'm going. But it's not working the way it is, and that was his decision. And I said, ooh, wow, because I never thought that would happen in a million years.
Because we'd actually got to that point about a year previously, and that was a massive fight.
Yeah.
Because I'm not giving that up. You can't. If you make me, I'll hate you forever. I'll resent you. And this. And
it was a big tantrum. It was a huge.
Was.
Yeah.
If you love somebody enough, you'll do anything for them.
That's right. Is it true?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he obviously loves you a lot, my dear.
So now you'll do anything for me. You know, so many people who are, you know, workaholics and focus on the business and never at home, they're missing out on some fantastic moments. Like 3 or 4 days ago, Georgia pulled out her second tooth. She's now got 2 front teeth missing. And it was, I was there. And it's no big deal. It's such a small incident, but she actually goes, "Daddy!" Pull. It's like, oh, gruesome, but what a great moment. You know, you can't repeat that moment. And if it's just small things like that, if you miss out on those.
And the truth is, if you made different decisions, you wouldn't be there right now.
No.
How does it feel to make the right decision?
It's indescribable.
What does that mean to you?
What does it mean? It makes me feel important to him. It makes me feel like I'm the most important thing. Yeah. Which is just how it should be. We have a winner.
Now it's your turn to take the 90-day challenge. If you can think of a point of contention in your relationship or an outside interest that is creating tension, here are some steps that will help resolve the problem and strengthen your relationship. First, start by rating how your needs have been met by your partner. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate the levels of certainty, variety, significance, connection, love, growth, and contribution. Next, pretend that you are your partner and rate the levels at which you have been meeting your partner's needs. Now rate how your needs are met by other important parts of your life, in your relationship with a friend, your children, or the needs that are met by an outside interest such as a hobby or another activity. Second, assess your top 2. What are your top 2 needs in relationship? Certainty, variety, significance, connection, love, growth, or contribution? What do you value in relationship? Stability, love, excitement? What are your words for it? Now ask yourself, have you been successful at manifesting your values in the relationship? Remember that Neil valued contribution, yet he was not making his wife feel contributed to in the relationship. How about you? Third, what comes first? Ask yourself, what comes first for you, your partner or your other interests? Which have you been putting first in your day-to-day practice? It is easy to take one's partner for granted as one pursues one's interest. How can you change things so that your partner will meet more of your needs at higher levels? What rituals could you put into place together? Fourth, commit and give. If you have chosen to put your partner first, commit to the 90-day challenge. Give unconditionally in every way and in new ways. Watch and learn your partner's needs and what has to happen for them to feel their needs being met. Here are some tips for meeting their 6 needs. Certainty. For men, make sure that you show up for her emotionally when she is upset. Give her your love and understanding, even if it may not seem welcome in the moment. If she tests you, provoking you, or making criticism, take pride and joy in being able to pass that test. Call her on the phone just to tell her that you love her. For women, show him that your love is unconditional. Don't withhold or withdraw from him. Tell him that you will love him forever. Love him as you would love your child, even when he is in a bad mood, even when you are angry, and even when he has done something wrong. Variety. For men, take the initiative to surprise her with a special date, flowers, or something else that she would especially enjoy. For women, plan a new exciting sexual scenario. Be unpredictable in how and where you show him your love. Tease him and provoke him. Significance. For both men and women, ask yourself, what could you do on a weekly basis to make her or him feel special? What can you say that will make your partner feel that he or she is the most important person in the world for you? Find 3 different ways to let her or him know how much they mean to you. Love connection. For both men and women, everybody has different preferred ways for receiving love. Some people respond to touch, others to words. Visual people will respond to a certain look, and others will respond to gifts and gestures. Discover your partner's preferences, and you will be able to give to him or her more effectively with more satisfaction for both of you. Growth. The way to experience growth in relationship is first to commit to each other, and then put energy into figuring each other out. Learn your partner's needs and learn to cherish his or her individuality. Then propose ways that you can grow together towards your goals. Contribution. First, contribute to each other. When you both feel more fulfilled, you can begin to direct your contribution together in other directions. Remember, problems are not just problems. They are a sign that it is time for you to grow and contribute. And the best way to solve a problem is to strengthen your commitment to grow and to contribute to the person who matters most to you. Give to your partner like this for 90 days before trying to resolve any points of contention or asking for anything in return. At that point, you will not only have a much greater level of fulfillment, you will have much greater clarity about what both of you really need.